Let's tell him how you gotta redo this whole thing because you fucked up.
I didn't save the last episode.
Me. You. Let's go.
My name's Nina.
She's a diva. She likes to try to tell me what to do, and I refuse. I want to stay anonymous. You know why? No face, no case.
And that is Lady P. And this is Face Not Found.
Oh shit, I thought it was no face, no case. My bad.
Do you know who Keishla Rodríguez Ortiz is?
Yes, because we did this whole thing yesterday and you deleted it. Because of, I was going to say incompetence, but I don't know if that's the word I'm supposed to use.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
All right, see, I know what I'm talking about sometimes.
You know you have incontinence of the mouth?
Your mother. Shout out, Mom, yeah? I love you. I still haven't gotten the food that you said you made for me 6 months ago.
Oh, fuck. So, Keishla was born November 6, 1993, which makes her a...
I'm a Sagittarius, so she's a Scorpio.
Yes. Okay. I don't... You know what? I've been meaning to correct you. It's not Scorpio.
What is it?
Scorpio. She was the...
Shout out to Bay.
She was born in Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico. And
San Juan.
No, not her.
Oh, sorry.
She was the daughter of Keishla Ortiz Rivera and Jose Antonio Rodriguez. And she also has a younger sister named Berelice. And eventually Berelice had a son. And they all lived together. Keishla and Berelice might as well have been twins because they were attached at the hip. They were each other's confidant, protectors, diaries. I think we said we wished we had a relationship like that.
I'd I'd rather be a single child. I don't want to share anything. Actually, I am the only child, with the exception of my brother and my sister. So technically, I am an only child.
As a child, her most defining trait was that she loved animals. She was always rescuing strays, and eventually her passion for animals led her to a career at a pet grooming business.
I thought you was going to say got her killed.
No. She was described as the light of the family.
You see what I'm talking about?
What?
The light of the family. Go ahead. The scholar, all of that. Go ahead, right?
Very responsible.
Oh, all of that. Those are all the traits to be kidnapped.
Very beautiful.
Kidnapped.
Very dependable.
Kidnapped.
When she started middle school, she met Félix Verdejo.
Pendejo. Feliz pendejo.
You used that perfectly. Good job. Because him and his cousins end up moving to the complex. They end up moving. No, they don't move to the projects. She lives in the projects and they live behind the projects. But since that's one zone, they end up going to middle school together. They all went to the same middle school. Keishla, Berelice, Felix, and one of Felix's cousin. They played volleyball together, walked home from school together, and once they enter high school, Felix and Keishla went from being friends to being a couple. Eventually, her sister, Berelice, starts a relationship with Felix's cousin, and they have a son together.
Orgy.
No.
No, I'm sorry.
No.
No. Okay.
They make Keishla and Felix the godparents of that baby. Okay. Félix Verdejo-Sánchez was born May 19th, 1993. That makes him a Gemini. And he was born in... Now is your chance to say it.
Nazareth.
No, not...
Jerusalem.
No.
The Bronx.
No.
Oh, San Juan.
There you go. He was born in San Juan, Puerto Rico, to Demetrio Verdejo Colón and Madeline Verdejo-Sánchez. He grew up with 4 other siblings. And as a child, Felix was more interested in baseball. And when he was 9 years old, he got into a fight with one of his best friends during baseball practice. And Felix's godfather was there, Angel Rivera, and told them that...
I know that nigga.
It's a very common name.
I know a few of them. We went to high school together. And middle school. And elementary school.
Told them that if they wanted to fight, they should do it properly with boxing gloves. Rivera took Felix to the gym at the Las Glandiolas area where he met trainer Ricky Marquez.
So tell me more about Ricky Martin.
No, Ricky Marquez.
Okay, so formerly known as Ricky Martin.
Ricky would go on to manage most of Felix's very short career.
And also music career.
Felix fell in love quickly with the sport and became the only boxer in his family. At age 16, he won the Pan American Championship, and a year later, he eventually made it to the Olympics in London, where he made it to the quarterfinals. In total, he won 27 out of the 29 fights that he's ever had, and he was recognized as the best knockout fight against Villanueva. And he won his first championship belt with the WBO Latino title. So he was on his way to becoming one of the greatest boxers in history. Puerto Rico affectionately named him El Diamante, which translates to the diamond. And Keishla had a tattoo on her back of a diamond.
So later on they labeled him El Diablo, right?
I mean, in 2011, Keishla's parents divorced, and Keishla's mom, Kayla, moved to Florida with relatives. And since Keishla and Berelice were grown, they decided to stay in Puerto Rico. Keishla lived with 2 dogs and a cat on the ground floor, and Berelice lived upstairs with her son. While they were all younger, Berelice started to bring around what she called her best friend, Elise Marie Santiago Sierra. So they went from a group of 4 to a group of 5. During a period when Felix and Keishla break up, Felix tells Keishla that he's talking to Elise Marie.
That's the 5th one.
Yeah. Okay. And remember, Berelice is younger than Keishla. So if that's her best friend, she's young as Berelice too. Okay. At the time, Felix was 18 and Elise Marie was 14. She was an aspiring model and dreamed of a phenomenal life with Felix. Her parents knew about the relationship and they were not against it. Throw the whole family under the jail. He was 18 and she was 14. She's a child.
I don't know what y'all do in Puerto Rico.
While he's in this serious relationship with Elise Marie, he continues to see Keishla and to have control over her too. He did not allow her to date anyone, and he told her what she could and could not wear, and he monitored her social media too.
His wife?
No.
Keishla?
His mistress, okay. Yeah. And like if she was at a party with someone and they took pictures and Keishla was in the picture, he would demand that picture to be taken down, and she would like beg the person, like, please don't post me. Her mom and sister do not approve of her seeing Felix, because how do you go from being his number one woman to being his mistress?
If the check is good. I'll take that back. Because she was still in the project.
But like Selena Gomez says, the heart wants what it wants.
Told you, Selena Gomez did not say that.
She did.
Well, she said, but somebody else came up with it. Like, I believe it's biblical. Back when Adam and Eve, or Adam and Steve, or even Eve, and we smoked trees.
Deep down, she feels that since they were together for so long and they were each other's first love, eventually they would end up together. So that's why she stayed his mistress for so long. By this time, Berelice and Elise Marie cut ties as BFFs, because Berelice will go over to Elise's house and Felix would be there, and that's Elise's man right now. And she will go home, and not long after, Felix will come to see Keishla.
I would have fought my sister. Okay, you stupid. Well, I'm sorry. This doesn't end well. So
I'm sure her mom and her sister both told her plenty of times. In 2016, Felix marries Elise Marie, who was 19 at the time. She was doing great with her modeling, and she had a large following on social media, and she opened up a beauty studio for eyelash extension. Later that same year, Felix gets into like a horrible motorcycle accident that puts him in critical condition. But by the grace of God, or help from the devil, he makes a very quick recovery. The second chance at life does not give him a new lease on it, because he goes back to the ring, which is great. But he also continues to cheat on his wife with Keishla and several other women. Now, in September 2019, Felix posts a picture on his social media of him and Elise, who was very into her pregnancy. And in Spanish, he captions it, "Soon I will meet Daddy's princess." A month later, he announces the birth of his daughter, Miranda Verdejo-Santiago.
That's his firstborn?
His firstborn. And, like, of course it hurts Keishla's feelings that she's not with him and she's not married and this isn't their first baby. But it wasn't like the news was a surprise to her, because this motherfucker was treating Keishla like his BFF. Everything that happened to him, I'm getting married, oh my God, I'm having a baby. He would show her the sonogram, the gender reveal, what they're gonna call, like, he would share his life with her as if this didn't hurt her.
So he believed that she was his best friend with benefits?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
And the fucked up part is that, like, after before every fight that he would have, he will call her on the phone.
His best friend?
He has BFF, Keishla, not his wife.
Yeah, but that was BFF because she was there before her.
Yeah, but why not marry Keishla?
Why Keishla allowed it?
Listen here. He will call Keishla, right? Yes. And she would have to have this certain shirt on every time he would have a fight. It was like a diamond.
Mm-hmm. Shine bright like a diamond.
Correct. And he would call her before every fight. And if he had to travel for a fight, he wouldn't take his wife. Mm-hmm. He'd taken Keishla.
Because he loved her.
Yeah, he did love her. Keishla would try, though, to break things off, but he would not let her go. And now that he had a whole family, her sister and mom would tell her she needs to leave that man alone. Family or no family, though, Felix refused to break things off. And he even went as far as telling Keishla that if she, like, moves on with another man, it's not going to be pretty for that man, and it won't be pretty for her either. Now you're threatening me. During an interview, Keishla's dad, Jose, said that he had no idea that Keishla was even in an affair with Felix. He says that one day Felix knocked on the door because Keishla's dad lived with her for about 2 years. Felix knocked at the door. Jose screamed out to Keishla like, it's Felix. And Keishla was like, yeah, open the door. And he let him in, and they sat down and watched the basketball game. And once the game was over, Felix left. Once he left, he told Keishla like, yo, that man has a whole family. Mm-hmm. And Keishla was like, no, Dad, he comes to see his godson. We're just friends or whatever. And I mean, he gave her the benefit of the doubt, but
Daddy's no fool.
Daddy's no fool, because sometimes he would catch her crying, and he just knew in his heart that his baby girl was very much in love with this scumbag. She was his biggest supporter, although he described her as, quote, a slut from the projects that said yes whenever he wanted to have sex.
Was this after the things happened?
He would describe her that way to his wife.
Okay, before everything happened.
Mm-hmm. So now in 2020, Elise is no dummy, though. She puts a clone app on Felix's phone and sees that her good-for-nothing husband is texting with several other women, including Keishla. And she goes off on him, tells him he needs to get the fuck out of her house, and threatens him with not letting him see their daughter. So Felix begs her for another chance, and
I don't like when women use their kids as
I
weapons.
know. I thought that was so wrong too.
I don't like
because he did adore his little girl. Yeah. So he did cut off communication with the other women and with Keishla. From the outside, he looks like an exemplary man, a caring, loving husband and father. But not too long after, again, he starts to see Keishla. In April of 2021, Keishla discovers that she's pregnant. She's 27. She's ready to have a baby, even if she has to raise him or her by herself. And she's hoping in her heart that once she tells him, he would accept it. So she told Felix, and he tells her, number one, she needs to go to the doctor to confirm that she's pregnant. And if she is, she needs to have an abortion. She tells him she's having this baby with or without his support. He tells her that an illegitimate child would destroy his reputation and ruin his already very fragile marriage. I mean, it's so fragile, but you keep on cheating.
Yeah, it's men logics.
But the truth is, a new baby with a poor woman was not aligned with his image, including sponsorships that he had to protect. Elise Marie, she came up with a upper middle class family, and so did he. And Keishla's this girl from the projects. In Puerto Rico, we call them caserío. So on April 26th, Elise Marie tells Felix she's officially done with him, that she was not going to wait around to catch a disease or for him to get someone pregnant. And this time she was firm, and he tells her, baby, please don't do this, because
baby, come back. You can blame it all on
it is
me.
It is all his fault. He says he's never going to let that happen, and he did mean that. Keishla calls Felix and tells him that her test from the doctor confirms that she's pregnant, and once again he begs her to terminate the pregnancy, and she says no. So he tells her, you know what, I think you're lying, and we need to meet in private so I can see the results myself. And she says, fine, I have nothing to hide, so yeah, let's meet up. Wednesday, the 28th of April, Keishla tells her sister she's pregnant. And I mean, she's not ecstatic, but what can you do? Keishla, she goes to work that day and then goes to get her nails done, and then babysits her godson so that her sister could work. The next day, Thursday, April 29, 2021, before 7 a.m., after speaking with Felix on when they're going to meet up, Keishla calls her sister and tells her, hey, I'm meeting up with Felix to show him the results. Because remember, she tells her sister everything, which was great. And Berelice's sixth sense kicks in, and she's not thrilled she's meeting up with Felix alone. So what do siblings do when they want to...
Call Ghostbusters.
No.
Snitch.
Berelice hangs up and calls her mom.
There you go.
And snitches on Keishla. Keishla doesn't even think about it twice. She hangs up the phone, and after Berelice spills the tea, she calls Keishla immediately and tells her, listen, please don't go or take someone with you. But Keishla set in her ways, and she tells her mom, everything is going to be fine. I'm a grown-ass woman. Let me handle this. So at 7 a.m., Keishla throws on her sister's navy blue scrubs and goes to meet up with Felix. At some point around 9 a.m., the pet grooming business that Keishla works for calls her because she hasn't shown up for work. And that's out of character for her. She's very dependable. She's very responsible. So they call Berelice, the sister. And immediately the panic sets in because, again, Keishla would not miss work. She hangs up the phone and calls Keishla, and Keishla doesn't answer. So then Berelice calls Kayla. And mom is like, what do you mean? Like, I just spoke to her an hour ago. She said she was going to meet up with Felix. Go check downstairs to see if she's there, because she's thinking that Felix made her have an abortion and she's probably downstairs recovering or some shit like that.
That was fast.
I mean, it happens. So she tells her, go downstairs while I call Keishla. So she calls Keishla, no answer. And mom tells Berelice, after Berelice tells her, listen, no one's downstairs, the dogs aren't even fed. So automatically, because those are her babies, she loves animals. So mom tells Berelice, call Felix, and Berelice is hesitant because she don't like him. But for the sake of her sister, she calls him. Yeah. And he's like, what meeting? What are you talking about? I've been with my family. Your sister and me weren't supposed to go to no meeting. But Elisa's like, what the fuck is going on? She hangs up the phone on him, calls mom back, and she says, hangs up on Berelice, and mom calls Felix. And mom says, listen, my daughter an hour ago said she was gonna go see you, so you need to look for her. I'm taking the next flight out to PR. Keishla is not downstairs, she verifies. And so the manhunt begins, right? Berelice goes to the police and reports Keishla missing. And once mom makes it to Puerto Rico, Berelice, mom, and dad start driving around and going to places anywhere where Keishla might be. Police questioned the neighbors and co-workers, but no one said that they had noticed anything suspicious with Keishla, anything suspicious with her behavior, or anything with a disappearance. Everything was normal. Family and friends turned to the media to spread awareness of her disappearance and asks anyone with information to please come forward. Everyone in Puerto Rico
is upset about this.
Is upset about this and goes to
Except
and they
for Bendejo.
Because you're using that word so great.
Awesome.
Anyone with a heart and decency throws themselves to the streets to demand justice for Keishla and punishment for whoever did this. Felix is brought in for questioning because mom is very vocal with her suspicions. So police bring him in, and he denies any involvement with Keishla's
So isn't he like a local celebrity?
Yeah.
So he's, for a local celebrity, he's very local.
Yeah, he's very, well, most celebrities from Puerto Rico, believe it or not, they are very local. Like, sure, Bad Bunny has a house here and there, but his home is Puerto Rico. Most of the reggaeton artists.
He be jogging and stuff, or he has his security guards.
I don't know. I'll call him later and ask him, okay?
No, please.
Felix is brought in for questioning. He denies any involvement with Kayla's disappearing and says that he was with his family, right? And after he gets out of the police station, he calls his wife and he's like, yeah, Keishla's family is looking for her because she's missing, and I just got questioned by the police, whatever. So, and I don't know nothing. Like, I don't even know why they're asking me. That does not sit right with Elise.
Mm-hmm.
Because she knows that her husband is a great liar. Elise calls Berelice to verify what Felix told her. And Berelice was like, yeah, she is missing. But not only is she missing, she was on her way to see your husband to tell him that, to show him proof of her being pregnant. And Elise is like, excuse me, come again? And she's like, yes, Keishla is pregnant. Keishla never stopped being with him. Keishla travels with him, the whole nine. So when police do bring Elise Marie for questioning, she did not verify her husband's alibi. She admitted that she knew about the affair and that she knew about the other women, and her husband is a scumbag. On April 30th, 2021, Keisha's car is found, and her family, they rush to the scene. Puerto Rico is very small, so word spreads like wildfire over there. So inside the car were her results from the doctor, along with all the personal belongings and no signs of a struggle. So the dad is eager for them to just hurry up and open the trunk because he's thinking that Keishla's in that trunk. And when they opened the trunk and she's not there, Dad said that that's when he lost all hope. Reporters were quick to do interviews because now the whole country is concerned. Everyone wants to find Keishla. Like I said before, they were very blunt with their suspicions of Pendejo. And Kayla, the mom, her cries and her pleading on camera was enough to break anyone's heart.
Can you check and see if you're recording?
Damn. It's recording. Her pleading was like, if you didn't feel sorry for this woman, you didn't have a heart. And if you had a heart, it was breaking. Okay? And break a heart, it did. Because Luis Cadiz saw Keishla's mom crying on TV and knew that he had to right his wrongs. So now Luis Cadiz was born in 91 and was raised by his mother in the Luis George Torres public housing project. His parents split when he was 7, so it was just him, his mom, and Ricardo. At the age of 13, he was abused by one of his mom's partners, and he said that abuse lasted for about a year. He had several failed attempts of suicide, which resulted in him having a bunch of scars on his arm. And before turning himself in for the information that he knew about Keishla, he tried to strangle himself. So he has a history
Did he have a suicide note when he tried to strangle himself?
I don't know. And how do you strangle yourself?
I'm guessing he tied...
That would be hanging yourself, no?
Yeah.
Okay. So he has a history of prescription drug abuse such as Klonopin, Ambien, Zoloft, Alvale, and in addition to that, he smoked a lot of weed. He had 2 convictions. He had a fine for $150 for disorderly conduct in the Bronx, and he spent 60 months in prison for possession of a firearm. During that stint, he was diagnosed with anxiety and depression, and he knew just those 60 months were enough for a lifetime. He was scared of going back to prison. He was out on supervised release at the time of Keishla's disappearance. So he had a small business, which was washing cars in the projects that he lived in. This man, Luis, he went to federal agents. He spoke to federal agents. The federal agents picked up Felix, and Felix is on trial. Luis testified for 2.5 days on direct and cross-examination. He said he met Felix during a birthday party at the projects, and he knew him to be a good boxer. He said Luis would hang out with his brother Ricardo, and that he wouldn't really see him outside the project. It seems like he was embarrassed to be seen from people because he didn't want to. He wasn't with Keishla because she was poor.
But he was still in the projects, though.
He didn't live in the projects.
Yeah, but he was still hanging around in the projects.
Yeah, but if I'm going out to a fancy dinner, I'm not taking nobody from the projects with me.
But I just left the projects. To the fancy dinner. You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense.
He said there was one time where Felix paid Luis to wash his car and to use his bedroom to have sex. You can go to a hotel?
Bedroom is closer. And it was in the projects. He likes the projects.
It sounds like it. Felix was aware of Luis's cuts on his arm and that he was troubled. So on April 27, 2021, Luis saw Felix in the PJs where he told him about the problems with his wife and how he got his mistress pregnant. And Felix wanted the baby aborted and asked Luis to help. And he told him that he needed to make her disappear before the weekend because it was the godson's birthday party that weekend, that Saturday. And he couldn't risk Keishla telling her family that she's pregnant, because that would be a nice thing to do at the birthday party.
Everybody's already here.
Luis told him that he didn't have access to like abortion drugs, but that he could get him drugs like heroin, for example. So Felix told Luis he would take care of Luis's problems, which is very vague, if he helped him get rid of his. Luis agreed to help him so that he could appear more loyal, and he's a boxer, he's famous, so he wants to be friends with him. The next morning, April 28th, Felix returns to the PJs and Luis gives him a syringe with drugs. So Luis tells him to hop in the car, they're gonna go look for Keishla. Prior to this though, Luis didn't know who Keishla was, don't know what she looked like, he's never met her. So when they find Keishla in the evening, they don't approach her because she's with the godson, which is his godson. That was the day that she got her nails done, went to work, she's babysitting the godson in the night. So literally that baby gave her one more day of life. So they drive to the Moscoso Bridge to scan the area for surveillance cameras, and after that they drive back to the PJs where Felix plans with Luis in details regarding how to inject Keishla and tie her to cement blocks with wire that they found around the projects and throw her over the Moscoso Bridge. Then Felix, he leaves for the evening after they concoct this plan. The following morning, Felix picks Luis up at the projects and they go meet up with Keishla. He hides in the back And once Keishla gets there in her car, she shows Felix her test results, and Louis, who's hiding in the back, grabs Keishla by the hair, and Felix punches her in the jaw. And that knocks her out because he's a boxer. Felix injects Keishla with drugs, and then Felix and Louis start tying her up with the wires, right? They attach her to the cement and they drive to the bridge. They cover her with a tarp so no one can see. And this is early in the morning. Louis gets in Keishla's car, follows Felix. He drives them to Atorrey, where they leave Keishla's car, and Louis gets back in Felix's car. And they drive to the bridge, Moscoso Bridge. After the break in traffic, they get out and they throw Keishla over the bridge. And she starts floating and they see her looking up. That's disturbing. They also see that one of the hands get loose from the wire, right? Mm-hmm. So Felix hands Louis a firearm and tells him to shoot towards the water, which is dumb. It's your firearm. Why can't you
just shoot her from the jump?
And what was the point of...
Because now she's suffering.
Exactly. And what was the point of injecting her, too, if you were going to throw her over a damn fucking bridge?
If you got a gun, why do all of that? You could have just...
I know. Louis fires the weapon and they both get in the car and they loop around, right? So Louis gets out of the car and looks over the bridge and tells Felix like that there's bubbles coming out of Keishla's mouth and that one of her hands are free. Felix grabs metal wire from the car and jumps over the bridge to make sure she stays down there. Okay? That's dedication.
Pendejo.
After waiting for some time, Louis starts to drive around. He picks him up though after a few times that he drives around, and he sees Felix soaking wet, waiting by an electricity box near the bridge. And so he hops on the passenger side and Louis starts driving towards the PJs. They stop by a beach in Isla Verde, which is a very beautiful beach. You must go. To get rid of the phone. Once they get to the PJs, Louis cleans Felix's car, and after Felix tells Louis to go get Keishla's car and burn it. So Louis did go to get Keishla's car, but he drove it to the town of Canóvanas and just left it there. On April 30th, so the next day, after he sees the commotion from the entire country and Keishla's mother crying on TV, Louis decides to tell his family everything about the crime. His aunt is a police officer and puts him in contact with a lawyer. The lawyer tells him, do me a favor, call or text Felix and ask him for $25,000 and see what he says. After Felix has not responded to his messages, his attorney tells him that, you know what, we need to go to the federal agents. You need to turn yourself in so that you can have a chance to get ahead of this and get a reduced sentence for cooperating, because I'm pretty sure he's going to put this all on you. So you need to go to them before he does. So Louis tells the federal agents everything, including where to find the body. When they go to pick up Felix, girl, he's in the house in somewhere, but they picked him up and he was with another woman.
I don't think that man really liked his wife.
I don't know why he married her then.
Because she's, I don't know.
They're all pretty.
Well, then again, she's from his block, right?
Yeah, you could say that. Not only do they catch him with a woman, but they catch him with the firearm and the keys to his Durango. While Louis showed remorse and made it clear that he was responsible for Keishla's death, Felix did neither. He was sitting there and he's like, I didn't do shit. Okay.
Did you watch the interrogation video?
They don't have interrogation video, but they did have court documents, and I read through all of them. Louis said that Keishla's mom crying on TV is what made him break. Hearing her pain, literally hearing her pain. Keishla Rodriguez's body is found May 1st, 2021, and when people saw the commotion in the water, again, things spread through Pia. It's a very small island, right? So Keishla's family take a motorboat right away and see if it was Keishla. So if the police is there, we're gonna be there. Dad and Berelice went because if Mom would have gone, there's no telling what she would have done. As they are getting to the body, Berelice sees the body laying face down, but she spots the navy blue scrubs and she automatically knows that's her sissy. When they get closer to the body, her dad, look, this is a grown-ass woman, Berelice, but her dad is like covering her eyes.
That's his baby.
Yes. He's covering her eyes so he won't see her sister. She won't see her sister like that. And it wasn't until they get her into the boat, and because you can't recognize her from the front, she's so bloated. She does not look like Keishla, but they verify that it's her because of the diamond on her back.
Was there any fishes in the water?
She was there for what? 2 days, 2 whole days in water, bloating. Yep, son of a bitch. And the dad was so upset because once they got her on the boat, all the media's there, including helicopters, and they didn't even bother to cover her body. So the prepping for the funeral was a nightmare. During the interview with Molusco TV, Dad said that first of all, he made sure that he was the only one to see the body, and he didn't want that image in Mom's or Berelice's head, because he said one of her eyes was out of her socket. Her fingers, the skin of her fingers was slipping off, so you could see like her skeletal bone. First of all the jewelry that she had on, Dad made sure to take it off, and Berelice wears the jewelry and never takes it off. Her skin was so delicate and parts of her were like deteriorate, like coming off, slipping off. So they had to wrap her up in plastic. Her sister, though, bought her a dress 3 times her size. And the funeral home was nice enough to accommodate the dress, like drape the dress over her. And so they could take pictures, so they could have some type of memory before the casket is closed. So that was really nice of them. The trial was postponed a few times due to COVID, but eventually it started. The federal trial for Felix started February 27th, 2023. His wife testified for the prosecution.
So testified against him.
Prosecution also had the phone records, putting Louis, Felix, and Keishla.
I thought you were going to say putting Lou.
No. In the same location, surveillance, text messages, everything Louis testified
was correct.
Yes, was able to be verified. So the autopsy showed that Felix injected Keishla with fentanyl and xylazine, which is an animal tranquilizer. It also showed trauma to her face on the left mandibular area, which is consistent with being punched in the face. But she also had it on her right side, and she had a broken nasal septum. Fluid was found in the sphenoid sinus, which means she did take a breath underwater. She was breathing when she was thrown over that bridge. And when she was found with the right wrist loose, right, and she had trauma to her ankle, which also indicate that while they were tying her up, she was alive and fighting. The fetus was removed from her body and pictures were taken, and prosecution showed Felix all the evidence throughout the trial, and he remains stone-faced. He had no reaction to it, this motherfucker. The trial lasted 1 month. He was found guilty of kidnapping resulting in death and intentionally killing an unborn child. On November 3rd, 2023, he was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences without possibility of parole, and he could have gotten the death sentence, but the family wanted him to suffer for life, so they begged the court to keep him in prison but alive. He's currently serving his prison sentence in a high security federal penitentiary in Pollock, Louisiana. On May 8th, 2021, Keishla was laid to rest. Her ceremony was all over the national news, and the casket was brought into the cemetery in a white carriage with white petals
What did they do to the fetus?
Thrown at it. Usually when they remove a fetus just to examine it, they'll put it back in the either in the mother's body or in the casket with her. In this case, it was probably so small that they just put it right back into her. So Puerto Rico has an emergency notification system called Alerta Rosa, which translates to pink alert. And it was designed to rapidly mobilize law enforcement and public resources to find missing or kidnapped women over the age of 18, because domestic violence is very big over there. Femicide is a big problem over there. So the first time the alert was used was when Keishla went missing. You don't find that sad?
We had this conversation yesterday.
Fuck off. In December of 2024.
We're redoing this because somebody's incompetence.
But isn't it sad? Because now, not only is she's gonna be remembered like by her family or whatever, but if you ever go and get curious, because I'm that curious, and like if you Google here when was the first time the Amber Alert was used, there's gonna be somebody.
Brene Bramsey.
No, that's not the first time it was used. Jesus Christ.
So when was the first time they used the Amber Alert here in America?
Well, her name was Amber.
Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Listen, hey.
So
I'm Jamaican.
It's sad because now when you go and you say, when was the first time the pink alert was used? Keishla's name will be there for life. So in 2024, Felix's lawyer put in for a new trial because new evidence had emerged to prove Felix's innocence, and the judge in 2026 said, yeah, you're wasting my time and taxpayer dollars. Motion denied. Dad Jose says that he would like to have a sit down with Felix, and me too, just to ask him, when his heart turned so dark, how do you wake up that morning to harm someone you've known almost all your life? Like his
needs is more important.
Yeah, but they were together from the moment they met. Like, how do you kill this is literally your BFF. How do you kill your best friend? So given the fact that Lewis turned himself in way before he was a person of interest, because May 1st he was already talking to agents, and because of this they were able to collect evidence before it disappeared. He rode around with the agents and mapped out exactly what they did that day and where they went, and the jury found him to be truthful, and he was sentenced to 20 years. As a result of his cooperation, his family had to leave the projects because people are still saying that he's innocent, that the boxer is innocent, but whatever. Felix has never taken accountability, and the premeditation and the level of cruelty and the lack of remorse is why the family said, no, don't put him out of his misery. They wanted both of them in jail for life, but being that this was all discovered because of Lewis. And so Keishla's sister, Berelice, who was practically her twin, said, quote, I wear her scrubs to feel her, remember her, and so that people never forget who she was. Please do not forget her name, Keishla Marlene Rodríguez Ortiz. If you just heard a crack, that was my heart breaking because what the fuck?
Wait, where are we laughing? I'm on Happy Pills, guys.
I'm so sad.
Me too.
You're so
I'm sad.
You're the happiest sad person I have ever met.
Listen, JFK wants to eliminate SSRIs, and I guess it's because of this. He's gonna use this in the court of law.
Can you believe that man said that SSRIs are similar to heroin?
Hey, listen, I'm addicted.
Nothing
Touch
wrong.
me, baby. Give me what you got. You're contagious. If you want to email us,
you can email us at ninadadiva.podcast@gmail.com.
Go ahead. If you want to bother us on Instagram, go ahead.
You can do so at ninadadiva1309.
If you want to make a complaint.
You can look me up on TikTok at Nina the Diva RT. Hit the link tree, join the Patreon, submit an anonymous confession, and be nice.
We don't care. Peace.
Oh, that's perfect. Now close the door as the end of the episode. Love you. Thank you. Bye.